Out this new advanced search feature that I just implemented into Quickli. Here is the new search box. And first we'll explain the reasoning behind the need for this. So let's say we're looking for a software engineer. Specifically, we're looking for a React developer, and we've searched for software engineer, faceted titles, current or past, in the Atlanta area, and we've got some of our keywords here that we need to match on. And we get a list of around 650 people. It's a real drag to have to go through these because a lot of times people don't have the exact experience we're looking for. Even if we do a total experience search, that's referencing their entire body of experience, not the specific titles that we're looking for. It also, their not operator is pretty unreliable, so we could put in not director and not manager, but it's not reliable in my experience. And then I end up sifting through hundreds or thousands of profiles that are not a match for what I'm looking for. So this new advanced search is an attempt to remedy that problem. So let's take a look at it. The search here, it takes a title, it takes a Boolean string, so you can't do like nested parentheses, but it's also not necessary to do that, and I'll explain why in a minute. You can do a normal Boolean search though. So in this example, we'll be looking for JavaScript or React or front end or full stack or software or that should cover it. And engineer or developer. One thing here to note, you don't need quotes here, for example. You can put them in if you'd like, but it's not necessary. Quotes within this search actually just creates a word boundary. So let's say we were looking for an R programmer, and maybe that's actually a better thing to demo here, but that's not what I set it up for. But if you were searching for an R programmer, you could say, you could put R in quotes, and it would find only an R by itself separated by white spaces, essentially, where that's not possible with pretty much every other search that I've seen out there. Also, this does allow for the feature that Google has where you can put a star as a wildcard for a whole word. So if there was possibly some word between front and end that might show up, you could search for that, and essentially it would search for front and then 0 or 1 word between end. So there's some, not in this search, but there are other times when that might be helpful. And so let's say I'm looking for a specific amount of experience here. So I don't want somebody that just got out of a boot camp. I want an experienced software engineer. So I'm looking for someone with 4 to 10 years of experience, right? And I want that experience to be so how this works is all these matches have to happen within 4 to 10 years. So if it's outside of that range, it's going to reject the person. So if the person has 3 years with some of these, with this title match, they're not going to show up. If they have 12 years, they're not going to show up. Additionally, if we wanted to filter even further, if we want to make sure the concentration of all that experience happened within a certain time frame, so maybe they hopped around and did different work experience, we can filter on that too by saying a date range here. So I'm going to say the beginning of 2009 and to current. One thing to note here, if you are using this date range, it's very precise. So if you were to do 6/9/2019, it would actually exclude a lot of people who have current jobs as this title because it's taking today as present. So it's good to put tomorrow as the date in case you're in a different time zone. At some point, I'll go through and account for that and add some intelligence around that. But for now, that's the way it works. All right, so what else can we do here, right? We talked about nesting. That's not an option, but it's also not necessary. We can do nesting like this by just adding another field. So let's say we want to exclude some things, right? I don't want to see people who have been managers or directors or president, P or VP, or I don't want any architects, or maybe I want to exclude senior people because, I don't know, maybe I don't have a budget. So I could put SR. In that case, I'd want to put this in quotes just because it's such a small piece that maybe there's SR around something else, or senior. And then to exclude that, we just click this button, and now that's an exclude. We could then put a range, like maybe we're okay with them having some of this, but just not a lot. So maybe I'm okay with them having that title for a little bit, but not present. That's not the case here, but so I'm just going to leave the rest of these empty. So in this case, it'll search for the specific range of experience. In this case, it'll just exclude anybody that's ever had any of these matching titles. And then let's run it, see what happens. So it'll take about a minute to complete. It's going to loop through all the search results and then filter down in on that experience with these search parameters. And then once it's complete, it'll give us a couple of options to either send them all to a project or to download them as a tab separated value, spreadsheet essentially. Looks like it finished. So we got 649 results down to 43 who are actually matching what we're looking for. So that's huge, huge time saver. So let's add these to a project. In this case, I'm just going to create a new project. We'll call this React mid-level ATL. And then just hold on a second. It looks like it's complete. And now the buttons are gone, or the options are gone. And so then we can just go in here to our projects. And here we go. There it is. So yeah, then we have all the people who are matching our search result. And then we can just blast through these and get them into our pipeline, and we're good to go. So, saves a lot of time. Have fun with it.